to the Central Bucks Senior Task Force, and this is one of our regular meetings, and we are meeting at the Central Bucks Senior Center at 700 North Shady Retreat Road in Doylestown, Pennsylvania. That's right off of the Broad Street exit, off of the 611 bypass. It's a great place to come and have lunch and have other activities, and they do some great trips. So please come out and visit the Central Bucks Senior Center. And today we've got two guests with me. One is Bill McTighe. I didn't say that right, did I?
Yeah, you did.
I did?
Yeah.
McTighe, beautiful. And we have Ernie Gash. And so Ernie and Bill we're going to talk about the senior games. This is something that happens every year, and or most every year. And so we're going to talk about it so that no matter when you're watching this, you will learn something about the senior games here in Bucks County, and you will learn about other facets of maybe what the Area Agency on Aging does as well. So again, welcome to our show today. So let's start with Bill. So Bill, tell us a little bit about yourself, your role that you play.
Sure. I'm the administrative officer for public affairs for the agency, and in that role there are a number of programs that I coordinate. There's senior centers, the nutrition program, volunteer program, Medicare insurance counseling, also the Ombudsman program, which is an advocacy for people who are in nursing homes, health and wellness promotion, which is what the senior games are in part about, and our information and referral group, where anytime a call comes in, the group is able to handle it and dispatch it to where it has to go.
Okay, so quite frankly, you read off a list of about 10 or 15 items, maybe more.
There's a lot, yeah.
Let's just pick those apart a little bit before we get to the discussion of the senior games.
Sure.
And of course, just be aware that we're working at a distance from the camera and the microphone, so we're going to be talking loudly so everybody can hear us out in TV land. So basically, when it comes to the Area Agency on Aging, it seems like there are Area Agency on Aging throughout the United States. Is that correct?
That is true, yes.
And why is that?
Well, the implementing legislation for that was in 1965. It was the Older Americans Act.
Okay.
And the Older Americans Act basically says to the states you have to set up planning areas within your state to deliver aging services. And it happens in Pennsylvania that the counties were designated as the areas where the agencies did it, so thus Area Agency on Aging. And here we are in Bucks County.
So is there one for every county?
Basically there is, but there are some remote counties in the Commonwealth, so 3 or 4 of them might form together to create one Area Agency on Aging.
Okay.
In Pennsylvania there are actually 52, and there are more counties than that.
Oh, interesting. So you've got all these throughout the country. Do they have senior games throughout the country?
I know that there's national senior games, and a number of states have them.
Okay.
Whether or not that's true for every state in the U.S., I'm not really sure.
Okay. So the whole idea is it part of the official Olympics?
What, like is in the United States Olympics?
Yes.
No, it's
not.
No.
So if I win a gold medal, as I have, if I win a gold medal, it's not the same as winning it in the Olympics.
Not quite.
But it's even better, I think.
I think so. Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, you take a look at the age of the people who are participating, and that in itself is an accomplishment.
So let's talk about that. So, what is the age range to participate in the games?
For Bucks County Senior Games, it's age 50 and up, which is our typical age for participation is 60, but for the senior games, we take it to 50.
Okay, so I am still 59, and next week I'll be 60.
Okay.
So I participated in the games last year in the age bracket from 50 to 59.
Okay.
And that's why I won, because there weren't many competitors. But then when I turn 60 this next coming week, then I'd be in the 60 to 70 bracket.
Correct.
Or 60 to 69.
Yes.
And that's a much harder bracket to beat people in, because they're very skilled, and there's a lot of people.
There are a lot of people.
Okay. So, why is the Area Agency on Aging involved in senior games at all?
Well, one of the things that the agency does, I mean, people think about the agency as maybe just serving, in quotes, old people who are frail and stuck at home. But the spectrum of services that we provide is for the whole range of people in the aging category, from highly active adults to those who are in a nursing home and toward the end. So one of the functions that we have is a health and wellness promotion. It's up to us to go out, provide nutrition education, promote physical fitness, teach people about any number of health issues, and the Senior Games is one of the important ways that we do that.
Interesting. So, what are your oldest participants? How old have they been?
One I'm most familiar with was 92.
92.
Yeah.
Okay, excellent.
And he actually happened to win the bowling championship of everybody who competed in this one particular year.
So, give us a sense of what the different categories are for the Senior Games in Bucks County.
Okay, well they've evolved over time, and they've changed a bit. But essentially, the games that we're providing now, the opportunities, are billiards,
They call that pool,
pool, right?
right?
Bocce,
Bocce,
bowling,
bowling,
bridge.
bridge, all the B's,
Yep, I think I have all the B's. We have trivia,
trivia.
equates.
What's that?
Equates, like it's sort of like the horseshoes, but
Equates?
round. Yeah,
Okay.
equates.
Right.
We have track and field,
Right.
which would include not only running and walking events, but also discus, shot put, and long jump.
Interesting.
Yeah, pinochle
Yeah.
and table tennis.
Right.
And
My
regular,
sport.
That is. That's
Right.
where you won your gold. and regular tennis
Regular tennis, table tennis,
and golf.
and golf.
Yes,
So that's like 10, at least 10 different categories.
correct.
So, I mean, even if all you're good at is, I shouldn't say all you're good at, but if you're good at trivia, it's kind of it's sort of a physical sport in that you can get up and pound the table.
Well, there's that, and then also when we think about health promotion, we're thinking not only about physical activity, but mental activity.
So I get it. So mental health and mental acuity
Yes.
with being able to recall facts about this or that.
Right.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay. But no crossword puzzles then,
Not today.
or Sudoku challenges.
We'll work on that.
I think you should. Okay, so you don't have to necessarily have a lot of physical skills, but you can have a combination of physical, mental, or cognitive skills, or just cognitive skills.
Exactly.
And so therefore, it really is open to a wide swath of the senior population.
Yes.
Okay. And do you get real medals?
Well, I guess it depends on whether or not you're expecting real gold, bronze, or silver, but we do actually give medals. They're
Okay.
ribbons with gold-colored, silver, or bronze-colored.
Okay.
They actually are made of metal. And,
Questionable metal.
but yes, you do.
Refashioned soup tins. Okay. So so they can get an award of some kind and recognition for that. But there are a lot of other benefits besides getting an award. What would be some of the other benefits that you think people have shared with you about the Senior Games?
Well, first of all, there is the physical fitness aspect of it, and some
The
of that-
preparation, you mean?
Yeah.
Kind of like getting prepared. Okay.
There are people who actually do prepare for the events.
Yes.
And there are people who just come out, for the events and maybe don't do
Just
that
for fun.
particular event. Right.
Almost.
And so the people who are preparing for it, they're serious competitors. Overall, it's friendly competition, but there are some people who are very serious about it. There are other people who don't see each other from one year to the next, but they come to the games because they love the games and because they get to see each other.
Okay.
They kind of catch up and pick it up where they last left off. So there's a physical fitness component, a mental component, and socialization, recreation, which ultimately leads to a better emotional state.
Wow, absolutely. So the whole idea is that they don't necessarily have to be part of the senior centers themselves they could just come out to the games if they wanted to and
Oh,
participate.
absolutely. I'm glad you said that. Yes.
Okay. So if you're a member of this senior center or Ben Salem, or there's how many senior centers here in
13.
13 senior centers in Bucks County. So even if you're not a regular, attendee, or you don't do the activities in the senior center, this would still be something you could come and do and still benefit from.
Yes.
Okay. And so it's 50 and above. It's both physical and mental kind of gymnastics, if you will. And you're competing in age brackets, as we said, so 50 to 59, 60 to 69, 70 to 79, 80 to 89, 90 to 99, and I guess over 100 if there were any.
We've not yet experienced that. But
Well, if you're over 100 and you want to participate, come on out.
be a trendsetter.
Right, exactly. So yes, I played table tennis, and like I said, I won mainly because there were not that many competitors, but I did win the game, so, fair is fair. But the talk about how people could practice, because not everybody has thought about it, or maybe people haven't even played pool for 10 or 20 years, and they don't have a pool table. That's when they could come to the senior center and use the pool table or get to know the people who play there and start to become involved. Yes?
Yeah, for sure. Yes.
Okay. So that's important. So if you're a member, obviously, that's great, of a senior center. If you're not a member, you can still be involved. And if you're not a member, or you are a member and you want to get involved with something that needs a little practice, or you want to brush up on your skill set, you could come into a senior center. So as an example, here at the Central Bucks Senior Center, we do have table tennis, and we do have pool tables, billiards. They also have card games, and I think there are probably a couple other things that go on here. But every senior center has its own kind of niche.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah. I mean, it's just the nature of the center, the people who go there, and the managers who try to accommodate their likes and needs.
Okay.
There are a couple of centers that actually have official bocce courts.
Ah.
There's Northampton Senior Center in
Okay.
Richboro, and then recently there were bocce courts that were added to the Middletown Senior Center in the Levittown area.
Okay, so if you like bocce, you got some places to play.
Right.
That's really excellent. So talk a little bit about where the games actually occur.
Okay. Some years ago, actually before I joined the agency, they were all in one place. I believe it was Delaware, at the time Del Valle College.
Right here in Doylestown, Delaware Valley University now.
Right. Over time, as I became a bit more familiar with some of the challenges of people being able to get to the games, because not everybody has their own car, some of them have to depend on public transportation or friends. So between that factor and the fact also that some of the senior centers were saying we'd really like to play a part in these activities, and they had the facilities to do it, I thought, well, let's spread it around. So in Bucks County, being as big as it is, there's really no one good location for anything in particular. So we have events throughout the county, and not only at different locations, but we might have the same event at opposite ends of the county. For example, bowling. We'll have it at Earl Lanes in Quakertown, and then what used to be the Brunswick Zone, now Bolero in Feasterville.
On Street Road there.
Correct.
Right.
Billiards in Penn Ridge or in the borough of Silverdale, and then also I believe it's in Ben Wilson maybe this year.
Ben Wilson?
Yeah.
Okay.
But
They move around a little.
They do. Yes.
So that's going to be important. If somebody wants to participate, and and we'll talk about how to sign up and everything, but the bottom line is that they may or may not have to travel just a little bit somewhere into in the county to participate.
Correct.
So if it's table tennis, I know I went to Bucks County Community College, my alma mater.
Okay.
Okay, by the way, and a great school, and so that's there. And then where's like golfing?
Golf is at the Fairways Golf Club in Warrington.
Beautiful location. And then you've got. Do you have anything happening here at this senior center, the Central Bucks Senior Center?
We don't have anything right here in Doylestown.
Okay, so you know what, we want that to change,
Mm-hmm.
right? So we'll do that someday. Got to put in a little plug. Okay, that's great. So, we're not trying to tie this to any specific year because you may be watching this a year or two after we filmed this. But every year the senior games occur, and I would suspect that the sign up is similar from year to year.
Yes.
So, where would people go to sign up?
Okay, well, one, we have people who have participated in the games for the last 3 years or so. We maintain on a mailing list. So
They get an email.
well, actually,
Oh.
they get something in the
Old school?
old school,
Okay.
right in the mail. And this year we have a pretty detailed brochure that takes them through everything they need to know. But anyway, in any event, they're direct mail. There's also a registration form in the county's quarterly newsletter.
Okay.
And then they can go to Bucks County's website, the buckscounty.org/senior games. And then we distribute to a number of 55-plus communities and other communities throughout the county.
Okay, so I've never ever seen something called a quarterly newsletter.
We'll have to add you to the mailing list.
Who does that come from?
Actually, the agency.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's good. I mean, if you want to sign up for that, people can. Also, as you said, you go out to like the 55 plus, which there are a number of those. The 55 plus or senior communities,
Yes.
which could range in everything from like assisted living to like condos or whatever,
Independent, yeah.
independent living. And then you also have mailings that go out to previous participants, and then somebody probably could call you as well.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, so what would be the number to call?
That'd be 267-880-5700.
Okay,
And they would know about that too, because we also run advertisements in the major newspapers and also community newspapers.
okay. Would you repeat that number loud and clear?
Sure. 267-880-5700.
Very easy. It used to be you could remember every number that you ever had, right? Because there were like 10 people you'd call.
Yeah, and fewer area codes.
Fewer area codes, right. And now, talk about mental acuity, but do you know why phone numbers are 7 digits long?
From what I've heard, that's really the only number the typical person can remember.
That's right, that's right. So Bell Labs, back when they were trying to figure out how to number phone numbers, they did intensive studies, and it was like 6.8 was the maximum or average. So you were almost 7, and so that's why the numbers were 7 digits. But once they added the area codes, of course, it made it 10 digits, which made it that much tougher. And they used to be geographic, so you used to remember, right? 215, right? Or it used to be Pennsylvania 65000.
I didn't know that.
No, you never heard of Pennsylvania 65000? There's a great song. Who does that song, Ernie? Pennsylvania 65000. Yes, big band. But it was PA, Pennsylvania 65000. That's why the numbers on a phone have letters associated with them. Did you know that?
No.
Yes. So it all goes back to the original phones that used letters and numbers. So there you go. So you learned a little something. We'll win a trivia.
That was just going to say, that sounds like a great trivia question.
Right. So let's take a moment, and Ernie, if you wouldn't mind introducing yourself, please.
I'm Ernie Gash, and I'm a member of the Doylestown Township Senior Group. And I guess I'm here to maybe talk a little bit about an area that I had a lot to do with this a few years ago, and that is getting the officials for the track. And I'd like to say one thing. I know at Tilican Middle School, that track is open to the people, because that's not only the way it's set up in the coordination, not only belongs to the school district, but also belongs to Plumstead Township.
Okay.
And therefore, if you wanted to practice, you could go out and practice, either doing a little running at times,
Okay.
naturally when they're not having competition,
Right.
or there's an area for the long jump, the shot, and the discus.
Well, you wouldn't want to do that unassisted, right?
No. But I mean, if you wanted to go with a friend or two to go
Yes,
out and
yes.
practice that ahead of time,
Interesting.
that you could do that.
And that's where, Tohickon
At Tohickon Middle School, yeah.
and middle school. And where is that?
That's right off of the old 611 bypass,
Oh,
right off of Furlong, not Furlong, but Point Pleasant Pike.
oh, really?
Yeah,
Okay,
it's
okay.
up in that area there.
All right. So
Yeah.
Tohickon Middle School, there's an open track,
Yeah.
belongs to Plumstead Township,
And the school.
and the school, and people could go run around the track and practice.
Do things
Excellent.
like that.
Okay.
The other thing is, when I first started working with this, I had one or two people that came from the county, and I was there like as a starter trying to get things set up. And then the person who was arranging it set up the same date as the league championship
Mm.
for track for the high school for the league.
Yes.
And what happened is I have that responsibility, so I missed it 1 year, and they dropped it.
Mm.
And then because coming back to the county and then also going to the state, they came back and gave us the information that we could reorganize that.
Great.
So what we do right now, or what I do right now, I'm no longer officiating. I gave it up on, this is the second year I'm not officiating,
Okay.
is that I went to our track chapter, and we would get people who would do the shot, the
Right.
disc,
Right.
and do the long and
Short jump.
Short jump.
Is there a short jump too? Is there something
Just
called
a
a short
long
jump?
Just
a
a
long
long
jump.
jump.
Just a
Long
long
jump.
jump.
What's a long? By the way, if I can stop you right
Yeah.
there, what is a long jump?
A long jump is when you run down a corridor or a mat that's set up, and then jump over a line,
Right.
and then you land in a sand pit.
And that's a long jump.
That's a long
It's
jump.
meant to be a long jump.
Yeah, see how long you can jump. Yeah.
Right. And then is it where your heels hit or where you butt
It's-
hits?
It is the furthest part of your body. Like if you hit with your heels and you fall back, it's where your bottom hits.
Okay.
So
Oh, interesting.
yeah.
Okay.
Now the other thing that what I did when I first did, I was by myself with the people from there, and then talking with the county and everything else. From our track chapter that I belong to, we brought people out.
Okay.
And then I was like in charge of it. Now the last couple of years, Kevin Munley, who is a retired principal from CB West, who was a member of our track chapter and everything else,
Okay.
he took that responsibility and should be in touch
Yes.
with Bill about that and set up in that manner. And then what has happened is that because of two things, I think. Number one, I'd like to mention one other thing. When we were at CB West,
Mm.
we had a lot of the athletes, because I had taught at East at that time.
Right.
What happened is athletes would help us do timing and help in those field events
Okay,
too,
that's
along
nice.
with the officials that
Right.
would come in.
Right.
And I think, that has just been really tremendous. And where we are now, I think, with the officials and everything else, and the fact that we're taping this,
Yes.
that people know about it.
Yes.
There are a lot more people that are attending all of the events,
Right,
I
right.
think. But in track, I know it has been just unbelievable. In fact, what is really amazing is Andy Warren, who
Commissioner.
who was a
Ex-commissioner.
commissioner, but also was a runner at Tenet when I
Okay.
taught at Tenet, and then coached at Tenet, and I officiated and everything else. Saw that he came out. Now I haven't been there for a year or so,
Yeah.
but he came out
Yeah.
and participated in the events. So I just think, as far as I'm concerned, is that if there's anybody who wants to be involved physically
Yes.
or mentally,
Yes.
to look at all these programs or whatever they might be,
Yes.
And I don't know whether they still have it or not, but they used to have swimming. Now, I think that might have dropped out.
It did ultimately because we just had a very, very low turnout.
Was it, or something like that,
Okay.
but they used to have the swimming part, and of course that was my sport in regards.
So let's
to,
talk about that for a second. So just to kind of delve a little bit deeper into the track and field.
yeah,
So you've got the long jump,
yeah,
which, quite frankly, for anybody 50 or older, maybe for anybody 30 or older,
Yeah.
is not necessarily easy. You got to be careful of your hip and your,
right,
not breaking something. But things that you could do that are less, risky, if you're not in that shape, right?
Yeah.
If you're not able to do that, you could just simply do a fast walk,
right,
And-
and just short jump.
a short jump.
Yeah.
Well, if we want to do a short jump,
If you want,
and
or a step even could.
or you could step.
Yeah,
If you're
depending
tall,
upon the age,
that could be a long jump.
right, depending upon the age, right.
Right. So let's just say if you're in the 90s bracket and you can step 1 foot out, that could be considered a long jump.
Right.
Okay.
Sure.
No, it could be.
Right.
But then I've also seen a lot of programs for older track and field where people run or jog or fast walk,
Right.
and those are all good things that, really you just need a pair of sneakers, and to be able to do it, for a period of time,
Right.
right, a length of time.
Right.
So I want to encourage everybody that's listening and viewing our program today that track and field is not necessarily just jumping or shot putting or javelin throw, which would I may go out for that.
No javelin.
Oh, no javelin?
No
Little-
javelin.
You have
dangerous.
javelin catching.
No.
No javelin.
Okay.
So it's shot put.
Yeah.
It's what else? Discus.
Discus.
Discus. I'm confusing discus with shot put. So shot put is like
Yeah,
this,
Yeah.
and discus is like a disc that you throw.
Right.
All right. It's back to the Greeks.
Right. Yeah.
Okay. And so they can, so definitely people can participate and probably have a lot of fun,
Right.
even if you don't win.
Right.
Right.
Right. Now, also, when it comes to the running events, they have the 100
what?
yards.
Yeah, that's 300 feet.
Right. They have, and that's a straightaway.
Straight.
And then they have the 400,
400.
which is around the track all the way.
Right.
And then they have the mile run and mile walk.
Yeah.
So let's say there are some people that can't
Run.
but can walk it.
Yes.
And there's a mile run and a mile walk that
Okay.
they have.
Okay. Well, I think that that's important to know. So, when you look at all the different activities of the senior games here in Bucks County, there's something for a lot of people. I'm not going to say everyone, but there's something for a lot of people. And the people that don't participate can also be involved as spectators.
Right.
So if you don't feel obligated to, and motivated, I should say, to participate physically or mentally in the games, you can be a supporter.
Right.
You can come out and have fun, and they have drinks and popcorn and all sorts of goodies, right?
Well,
Depending on the event.
no, I think the only thing I like to mention right now,
Okay,
the safety of the athletes
number
is
one,
number one.
right?
And when I was asked to take it over at CB West of getting officials and all, I did. And when we moved to Hicken to do it, I said the only way I would do it, and went to the county and said, number one, I want an ambulance there.
So there's an ambulance
Yeah,
in
and
case of,
then-
at the track and
At
field.
the track and field,
Right.
right? And that there are porta potties there.
Porta potties.
Because the school is locked up.
Okay, so you have
And-
safety and
and
convenience.
Convenience
Comfort.
and everything else. And then you usually have plenty of water
Yes.
for the runners or the people who are helping work there. And
Okay,
everything.
and every event's followed by a wine and cheese party.
No, that's that is in your type of winning the table tennis.
Yay.
This is what you have there.
Okay.
No, but also I'm saying is that the other thing that has really worked out quite well, I think, is that they used to give the awards at a big like luncheon.
Right.
And now I believe they're still doing the awards right there that day.
Yes.
Some of
Uh,
them. I know I did. Mine came later. They had like an awards luncheon.
Yes.
So explain that, Bill, if you don't mind.
With the track, I mean,
Oh.
well, then maybe they've changed it. But the last time that I was there,
Okay.
that you had somebody from your office there giving the awards to those people when they
Right then and there.
at the end.
Okay. Well, let's see. What's the current state?
The current state is the awards this year. We're going to try to do it at a luncheon, and basically and anybody who doesn't come to the luncheon will mail the award directly to their homes. And the reason for that is that for the longest time we had a luncheon in association with the games right at Del Valle College.
Right.
And when I first joined the agency, there were actually 140 people who had come out to the lunch.
Wow.
Yeah, and it was really well done as far as the food goes.
Right.
And then Independence Blue Cross has a what they call a choir. These people, it's probably about 15 or 20 people who sing popular songs.
Oh, nice.
And they came, and then people were dancing and all that. And then just due to some staffing issues and other challenges, we weren't really able to spend a lot of time trying to promote the lunch and organize it the way we were used to. Since then, things have kind of turned around. And last year, what we did, instead of giving the awards out at the events, we said to people, look, we have an awards luncheon. If you can come, that's great. We'll give you the award. If not, we'll mail it to you. And we're trying to build that back up.
Okay.
Because it's been a really great celebration for
I think
everybody
so.
who's been part of it.
I think so. I wasn't able to be there last year, but I wished I had been able to be there. So Ernie, do you have any other comments, positive or elsewise, about the senior games that you can share with Bill and our audience?
Yeah, well, the biggest thing that I would say, I believe that the last 2 years possibly, because I'm not officiating anymore, I'm not involved as I was before, but the number of people, I think, that are participating in all events, and number of events that are starting to be increased into that program, is just a remarkable way to be concerned about the senior citizens in our community.
Right.
And I know that it's really strange because Dick Blythe, who was a teacher at William Tennant with me and was in guidance and came up to Central Bucks when I came up, and just unbelievable person, is older now, and he is in the need of help, and that through programs of this, which we're talking about, there's also those people know that they can get help if they're kind of kept within their home and need somebody to come in now and then.
So it's an outreach as well.
It's a total outreach of this to let people know that if you do need help, it's there.
Well, I have to concur and agree with you that we have a lot of services available to us in the Bucks County area, and in particular because of the Area Agency on Aging. Bill, your work, but also Ernie, I'd like to thank you for all the years that you've put into the senior games and being a promoter of the senior games. And yes, and it's very positive. And can you say on air the year that you're celebrating now?
You mean
your age?
My age? Yeah, I woke up this morning and I felt I was 28.
Yes.
When I go home this afternoon after this, I'm going to split some firewood, which I do daily,
That's
or when
what
I
you
have time
told me.
to stay in shape.
Yeah.
And that when I have dinner, I know I'm 82.
Well, you're in great shape, and we appreciate all the work that you've done. Bill, appreciate the work you're doing. And I think at this point we'd like to say thank you so much for joining us. We look forward to having you watch other shows that we've done together, and I hope that you found this to be beneficial and that you come out for the senior games. They happen, we're going to give you a little heads up, they happen in the June time frame.
Yes.
So they happen in the June time frame. So no matter when you're watching this, think about that. They're happening in the June time frame. And so if it's springtime, start thinking about the senior games. All right, take care. Have a great day. Thanks for joining us. Bye-bye.